Alrighty, what's up everybody, it is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, and I love Hooters, the restaurant, and titties. Big ones, small ones, even an Asian. But I digress on that. But thank you all for watching this particular video, and welcome to the Killer of Demons 669 channel on your Thursday, late afternoon Thursday, final day of April the 30th, 2026. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description mark below. So, subscribe to this channel, show my other channels your love and support, leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future content, but don't leave stupid comments, because you'll get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely like the New York Mets. Oh boy, they suck. They do. But you'll get beaten like the Mets today, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out, laugh at them, and then laugh at you because you're a SOL. You know what that means. And if you don't know what it means, well, look it up, fuckers. You'll get blocked and sent to the Shadow Realm, and that's it. Because you'll never return. That's that. You might see a witch. Well, up to the witch! Okay, I'm not gonna sing that. You will never return! Okay. Okay, sorry, Ronnie. Thank you. Anyway, Ronnie James Dio, ladies and gentlemen. The man who created this. Not Gene Simmons, it was Ronnie James Dio. And that's that. Alright, but if you leave stupid comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm. You know what happens there. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to share the video all over the internet. Most importantly, tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. You know what happens if you miss any of my videos. Once again, you're SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, all that other good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the tasty cold one. So I had McDonald's earlier with the missus. Because we are hungry. We're going to have some normal food later. But we had a craving for McDonald's. Well, we split a 20-piece McNuggets. So, it is what it is. But that's that. But sit back, relax, you grab your own tasty cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, fuck you, man. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Thursday night. Oh, I'm about to hit Thursday night. Sun's about to go down a little bit. It's down, but it's going to get dark pretty soon. So, hope you had a great Thursday. The final day of April. Tomorrow is May Flowers. Beginning of May. Not going to really feel it. We had some rain overnight. Last night, into on and off today, but not too cold. It was a little chilly, but what are you going to do? Tomorrow's going to be a little bit of the same with no rain, thankfully, but warms up by Tuesday and then kind of down the drain by the time we hit the first official weekend of May, which is next weekend, so we got all that. But take it as it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Take it as it comes. That's pretty much it. But I hope you had a great day. My day was kind of up and down, but got through it. Ready for the weekend. And that's pretty much it. Because everybody's working for the weekend. Okay. It's, one of those days where I'm wired. But I digress. But hope you have a great weekend coming up. And be safe and be well. And if not, well, that's your problem. That's that. We got TNA, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor coming up tonight. Should be some good shit as we're getting closer and closer. For Ring of Honor purposes, we are 2 weeks away from Supercard of Honor 19. And TNA, well, we're chugging along. That's pretty much it. Until whatever comes next. Well, Slammiversary is next month, so we're kind of getting on that path. I think we have one more event coming up this sometime this month, I think. Well, May, really. But we got that. So about a month away from AEW versus TNA on pay-per-view. Slammiversary versus Forbidden Door on June the 28th. We'll see what happens with that. Should be some interesting stuff. That's Sunday. Sunday. What we got? We got a lot of things coming up before then, but we'll get to that eventually. But TNA Ring of Honor tonight. Let's see how that goes. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow or on the weekend. But that's pretty much it. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, everything I'm going to tell you right now is going to be said right now. But Peter, what happened then? You missed it. But when will it be now, Peter? Soon. Soon it will be now. That's that. Remember your Spaceballs references. Because if you haven't seen Spaceballs, you need to get slapped. It's a classic. But I digress. And the sequel coming out next year? Can't wait for that. I can't wait. I'll be there on day one when it comes out. That I think it's coming out February 2027. So I will be there that day to watch that shit. It's going to be an amazing day. But we'll get that. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your getting close to really late, and out of fucking date, Monday Night Raw on Netflix review for this past Monday. And it is April the 27th, 2026. Rapidly approaching Backlash, which is a week from this Saturday on pay-per-view. And wherever you watch it from. But we are emanating from the Sames Auto Arena in Laredo, Texas. Scared them Cowboys that night. Not even near El Paso, which is Eddie's hometown. You know? I love El Paso, that's my hometown, Essie! Okay, no. I've never been there. You should come! Why don't you come? That's a double entendre, you know that? Yeah, you're funny, Essie. Okay. Yeah, someday I might go down to Texas. Maybe visit Dallas and San Antonio. But I'll come down and maybe on the way back, take a left at San Antonio, come down to El Paso and visit where you used to live. Because you up there now. I know, but my house is still there in El Paso. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Still in El Barrio. Wait a minute. I'm not going to the Barrio. I'm a young white boy. I'm not going down to the... I'm not even that old. I mean, not young, but... I'm not going down to the Barrio by myself. Want to take the Mamacita? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. But you should come, man. Okay, I'll try. Hey, if you ever want to go to El Paso, go down there and have fun. Eddie told you so. So go there. Alright, so from Laredo, Texas, Monday Night Raw emanated, and as always, our Monday Night Raw commentary team of the legend Maggle, Cole, and Corey Slave. Alright, so really this week's episode based around Jacob Fatuyamin giving his answer to our tribal chief. Put up your wands, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledge him every day, and that's Roman Reigns. So, we'll see if Roman's going to give Jacob an answer for his title shot at Backlash. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia Monday Night Raw. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. So speaking of Jacob, get a little recap of what happened last week where Jacob came out unexpectedly and challenged Roman for the World Heavyweight title at Backlash. And Roman saying, I'll give you it's like, give me a week and I'll let you know. So we got that. That leads to a epic first promo from Roman and the Usos, the Bloodline, now known as, not even the Bloodline anymore, the First Family. Okay, we get that. So Roman, Jimmy, and Jay, they're in a dark room where we can see them, obviously. Roman not being sure what to do about Jacob. Jimmy thinks it's better to avoid him. Jay wants to teach Jacob a lesson in respecting the family. Or respecting the authority. Respect my authority. So Roman says, I'm going to handle this later on. And then they put their hands together. And Roman suggests that this is not a bloodline. This team is called the First Family. So no more Bloodline, I guess. But we still call them the Bloodline, but now they're known as the First Family. That's trademarked, I guess, now, but it's good. But it fits. It fits their family. Probably one of the greatest families in wrestling history. But we get that. So we'll see what Roman and the Usos got for Jacob later on in the program. But I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, I'm being biased. I don't give a shit. Alright, moving on. Moving on from that. Alright, then we go to the arena. We have the music of Seth freaking Rollins. He's a revolutionary. He is a visionary. He's Seth freaking Rollins. Ha ha ha! Alright, so Timu Jesus comes out. Seth's like, I gotta get a lot off my chest, starting with Roman holding his world title because of Braun Breaker. That's why he wants Braun to come out right here, right now. So he comes out with, my name is Paul Heyman. Why not? He's the advocate, the oracle, whatever you call him. Fat man. Fat man! What it is. Seth says Braun took everything away from him earlier this year, and Seth wants to know why. They don't even come to blows, which is surprising. Braun wants to know, what did you ever give me? For months, me and Big Bronson Reed is going to be coming back pretty soon, had to stand in this ring while you said your name over and over and over again. And then we had to fight your battles, because you can't do it yourself. And then Seth talks about going down to NXT, wanting to face Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, the man who fucked Dunko. He didn't need Chinetti. Yeah, he didn't. Which is why he fought Braun in the first place, when Braun had the NXT title, I believe. Then he agreed to take Braun under his wing, because he knew his potential. And he tells Braun, I know what it means to be a 28-year-old star. I know Braun's 28, he don't look 28. With all the potential in the world. But the difference is that you, Braun, you're trying to take over, but I already did that. And the reality is that you're not ready because, but Breaker says, you lost to CM Punk, which is better than someone who just says it. So Seth's like, oh, okay, that was pretty good there, baby Steiner. Right, the nuts. And then Rollins says, hey, we got 2 weeks to Backlash. How about, you face me at Backlash? Oh, and by the way, nobody ever told you this there, Bronny? Or Steiner? You need to understand you're not even number 2 in your family. Damn! And he just left. I was like, shit. Wonder how Big Papa Pump thinks about that. I mean, he kind of mentioned, it's like, oh, did you think of that all by yourself? Did you have to ask Big Papa Pump for your hookup? Damn, Seth. Seth was lethal in this promo. I don't even think, Scott got anything to say about that? He's fat! No, he's not fat. He's not that fat. He's not, son of a bitch is fucking, I'll make him bleed. I know you will, but he's not fat. Okay, calm down, take your Snickers, alright? Yeah, he's fat! Okay, stop. Anyway. Alright, so that was a pretty good promo. 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we see La Pinela, Stephanie Becker, walking in the back, and then she gets jumped by the ladies of the Judgment Day. And that's Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and the new Raw Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. Trouble. They beat her up, they throw her into an anvil case, like shoulder first, and from what I'm hearing, Stephanie Becker might not be back till SummerSlam. Damn. So she's not going to be back for at least 2.5, 3 months. So I don't know what the injury is, but she's going to be out a couple of months. We'll get some more time to be with her boy toy, Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. We'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then, after so much spiel, we finally get to our first match of the night, because a little less talk and a lot more action on Monday Night Raw, like my ex, Ashley Marie, would say. That's copyright and trademarked, so nobody can use it. And if you do, you're getting fined. But I digress. Alright, so we had a non-title match. We got the Intercontinental Champion, the man from Mexico. He has no fear, ese, no fear. Pentagon, zero miedo. Alright, so he comes out and takes on, well, the man who kind of took him out last week, and that's Alexander Rusev. Rusev smash CJ Penny pussy! Yeah! Alright, so they're about to start the match, and then, ego, Ethan Page. No, not the Temu version. If you see my short on my Kill with Demons channel, or on this channel, go to my short section. I put up a new short of Temu version of Ethan Page from, well, it's not really him. It looked like him on The Price is Right circa 1989. I was like, wait a minute, what? That can't be him. I know it's not him, but it looked just like him. But anyway, Ethan Page comes out. Well, it's not on commentary, but just sits down there. And Pentagon and Rusev had a pretty decent match for 7.5 minutes. So with Rusev beating the crap out of him, sending Pentagon flying with a four-way slam. But Pentagon comes back with a drop kick to the floor, sets up a running flippy dipper-de-doo. And then Ethan mocks Pentagon, saying, "Oh, you need to calm down, Ese! You need to calm down!" Tranquilo. But how you know? How you know? How you know? But how you know? How do you know? Sounds like Whitney Houston all over again. How do you know? Okay. Alright, so, just got Rusev off with a super kick to get back in. Rusev with a super kick out of mid-air. We go to break, come right back. Pentagon comes back. Sometimes the faces come back during the break. So he kicks away, hits a reverse sling blade. Interesting. And a running slingshot drop kick in the corner, gets a 1 count. 1 count. And then Rusev kicks him down and release rock bottom. Sets up the Machka kick. Machka. And then he stomps on the back. It's time for game over. Tries for the accolade somehow. I don't know how, but Pentagon escaped. And he teased a springboard, but hangs on to the he hangs onto the ropes, kind of fakes out Rusev, which sets up a fruit roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Pentagon beats Rusev in just under 7.5 minutes. Match was decent, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. And then after the match, Ethan Page comes in, beats the crap out of Pentagon with Rusev's help. So it's a 2-on-1 beatdown, and then, well, his birthday was about a day or two ago. 22-year-old bouncy Javon Evans Belmore. Because you know he does that. He comes in for the save, and then he hits a big OG Giddy Kata! Bang! On Rusev, and then him and Pentagon have a nice little moment. So I'm like, we're gonna get a tag team match, player! Where's Teddy Long when I need him? That's, pretty much it. They don't announce a tag match, they just let it go. Alright, so we'll see what happens with those four people. And that's it. Move on. Alright, we go to the back, where we have, we get a little video of the actual El Grande Americano. That's Ludwig Spears with Rayon Bravo, Pete fucking Dunne, and Tyler Bate. Ludwig is ready to face Chad Gable, the so-called OG Grande Americano, in a mask versus mask match at the Triple A pay-per-view at the end of May 30th, I believe. That's going to be a great event. Noche de los Grandes. And as big as it gets for him, he needs to be ready. And he wants to face one of, not the greatest, but one of the greatest luchadors in Mexico. And that's Rey Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka. That's pretty much it. He's not as great as me! I know, Eddie. You're the greatest luchador of all time, next to your son. I know my son is the king of the luchadors. Rey's a little peasant. I know. I know. I get it. Now we get that. Alright, so again, that's 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then it's time for The Man! Becky Lynch, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, comes out for a little talk. Very pleased I've gotten the Women's Intercontinental title back for the 3rd time. First woman to ever do that. Because it means she has won 4 different women's titles at WrestleMania. That's pretty impressive. And now has more wins than any other woman in history. Another impressive feat. But she's still not the greatest woman wrestler of all time, because we all know that's Asuka. We move on. And the best thing was looking out and seeing her daughter Rue, who needs to learn that there is more to being a champion than just the money and 5-star hotels. It's about facing the best. So she's like, well, I got nobody to fight in the locker room, so I'm gonna issue an open challenge to anybody on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, maybe even TNA. So she's waiting, and then this person comes out, my 3rd amazingly hot Asian wife. Yes, do the emo. EO! EO comes out. Becky's like, oh, I'm on you. So EO's like, me want title match against you tonight. Well, now, basically. But Becky's like, I wanted somebody challenging and exciting, and you're not neither of those. What? Oh, Becky, you're talking crazy now, huh? Are you just talking crazy? Anyway, Becky thinks this must be EO accepting on behalf of Mommy Rhea Ripley because she wanted to face Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. Oh, bad comparison. Bad. We know Shawn never needed Marty Jannetty. No. He didn't need Jannetty. Jannetty tried to jump out the windows with a escape. You saw that? What a heinous act that he... What a heinous coward. Are you blind? I just knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He didn't need Jannetty. He didn't. Alright, and then EO, well, I guess got pissed about that, knocks Becky down, and then Adam Pearce comes out and says, hey, how about we do the match right here, right now? Why not? Let's do it. Right, Paul Stanley? Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so Becky jumps EO from behind as the referee came down. So we're going to impromptu Women's Intercontinental title match. Becky versus EO. This was great. Bad ending, though. But it is what it is. Alright, so Becky knocks her down as the match is joined in progress. A middle rope drop kick connects for a near fall. EO comes back for some forearms. And then German suplexes Becky for a near fall. Hits the missile drop kick. Gets back up. Becky gets in a shot of her own. Then has to block a suicide plancha. But instead, EO hits a sunset flip bomb, to the floor. We're going to break, come right back. Both of them knocking each other down. EO is back up with a super kick and a tornado DDT. Becky comes back with a manhandle slam, though she's about to retain, but EO kicked out at 2. She's EO. To get back up, EO knocks her outside when a moonsault, but she loses a shoe. Not that she really needed a shoe. Who loses a shoe? Honestly. Anyway, EO loads up a flippy dippity doo, but, well, my first amazingly hot Asian wife, Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka, except my dick. Asuka comes out, cuts off the springboard, which allows Becky to hit the manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Damn it! She retains the title in a little over 13 minutes. Match was actually pretty good, 3 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Asuka gets in the ring, lays EO out, and then pretty much makes her tap out with the Asuka lock. And even the fans going, we want Kairi! Kairi! You know? And you can tell Asuka, she misses her sister, basically. The person that's involved in this freaking storyline, she gone back to Japan. Because she wanted to go back to Japan. But, I mean, I mean, it's stupid they released her because of that fact. Why don't you just let her go on a little vacation, then, you know, maybe revisit this little storyline, maybe at SummerSlam? I know it had WrestleMania written all over it, but they wanted to further it. I was like, okay, let's go a couple more months. You can do a couple things here and there, and then, you know, maybe Asuka goes to the Queen of the Ring tournament. Is in the finals. Next thing you know, Kairi cost her the Queen of the Ring, and then right after that, you have Asuka and Kairi go at it at SummerSlam, and then maybe throw Io in somehow. Could have had what you could have done it at Mania. You could do at SummerSlam, but no! Budget cuts! You know, Kairi was not a budget cut casualty. Still, I didn't like it at all. I did not. Yeah, I didn't like it. I just don't. And that's that. Anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So we found out later that the match is going to happen. Why, I don't know. Asuka versus Io at Backlash, which has nobody really invested. They don't bucked up. That's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to the back. We have Ludwig Spears and the Americanos. They ask, hey, Mysterio, booyaka booyaka. If he has to worry about... We asked Ray if he has to worry about him in a mask versus mask match on May 30th. Ray says no, then he talks in Espanol, and then Chad Gable comes in. He's like, I don't understand. How can you not understand? Then Ray went, okay, so Ray's with, I think was, Kathy Kelly, or, no, Jackie Redmond, I think, but anyway. And then Ludwig Spears and the Americanos come in, not happy with Ray, who says, I'm not on anybody's side, like tranquilo, because there was some tension. And then the Americanos pretty much leave with Ludwig Spears. So, not much of anything there, so 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we go further in the back, we have Eli Drake. That's the name, so that's a fact of life. Yeah. He interrupts the Usos, who look like they were plotting what to do with Jacob. He tries to talk them out of this reunion with Roman. Jimmy says it's not your place, not your business, but Eli says, well, the power will eventually corrupt things, and then that really makes it my business. Okay. Sorry, dude, you have no place here. Get out of here. That's pretty much it. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, after that is the Raw debut of, we have to say his name. He appears, for his stupid concert. It was actually kind of funny. Sings about officially signing with Raw. He's fine with Oba. Acknowledges the OTC, which you have to do. If you're on Raw, you have to acknowledge the champ. And he's like, and he tells Adam Pearce, do me a favor, can we fire Logan Paul? And then Logan Paul comes out with he's pissed. He's like, you're gonna fire me? I can't be fired! Everyone else needs to be fired! I mean, calm down, dude. And Austin Theory's there trying to calm him down. And then Joe laughs at the idea of the Vision being winners, because all he saw on ESPN was a couple of primetime losers. ESPN sucks as it is. And then they pretty much throw Joe Hendry's equipment out the ring, almost hit freaking Michael Cole and Corey Slave. I'm like, watch out, Cole! Heads up, Cole! As Taz would say. And then the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, they come out for the save, and Joe Hendry hits a flip-flopper fly, that running little dive over the top, onto Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And then he poses with the Street Profits. So, can we get a 6-man? I don't know who they can team up with. And we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the concert was kind of but 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we get to Australia's own, oh, he did it, Grayson Waller. He's annoyed at not getting an opportunity of his own, and he says, oh, I don't like that, I don't like Oba. And Oba's like, hey, it's Oba. Uh-oh, Grayson, you done fucked up now. And Oba says, I'll give you an opportunity later on in the program, because I am the ruler, the destroyer, the ruler. I mean, I said that already. The bringer of war. The mountain you cannot climb, and the mountain you cannot conquer. I am Oba from Wakanda. Grimmy. So, yeah. Good night. F in the comments to Mr. Grayson Waller. And then Adam Pearce's like, I'm in. Okay. Get that. Alright, then Joe Hendry thanks the Street Profits for the help. Profit suggests he gets a new t-shirt to replace the blue one, since he's a Raw star now. Yeah, we're gonna see Joe Hendry in a red shirt. Nobody cares about that. So Joe seems to agree, he leaves, and then the Profits run into Seth freaking Rollins, and the Profits are not impressed because, you know, Seth, it's not special, it's not about you, it wasn't even about the Vision last week. Oh, actually, it was about the Vision last week, not about you. We want the tag team titles, and we don't care less what your beef is. Stuff like that. Alright, so we got that. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to El Grande Americano, Ludwig Spears with the Americanos, Rayo and Bravo, taking on Rey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka. This was actually a pretty damn good match. We start off with a 1925 test of strength. Ray gets his shoulders up at 2, sends Ludwig into the ropes, goes for the 619, gets cut off with a big old clothesline. Go to break, come back. Ludwig Spears knocks him down in the corner. Ray jumps up for a moonsault into a tornado DDT, and he rocks Ludwig Spears. And then Rayo, I think that's Pete fucking 9, tries to load up the mask, gets taken down with a 619, and then Ludwig Spears picks up the metal plate, but then Chad Gable comes down, cuts that off, and then Ray hits a 619 into the slingshot splashy. Drop the dime. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio gets the win over Ludwig Spears. In a pretty good match, 3 out of 5 stars. After the match, Ray takes the metal object, puts it in his tights, because, you know, Ludwig Spears ain't gonna be using it anymore. Yeah, put it down your pants, Ray, because there's nothing down there anyway. Right, Eddie? He's got nothing down there. He has no balls. He has no huevos, they say. A tiny finger. Oh, whoa, I didn't need to know that. But thank you, anyway. Tiny finger. I got the big finger. Mamacita. You be quiet. Moving on. That's that. Alright, then we're going to look at Jacob wrecking Solo Mibuki on SmackDown, along with the rest of the MFTs, right in front of the Usos. Oh, we get that. We'll move on. Alright, then we got a Backlash rundown with the new matches of Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker and Io versus Asuka. They're all set. That leads to a video from Asuka saying that she blamed herself for Io's mistakes for so long, but now she realizes that Io is the mistake, the real problem. And she's like, Io, you are my biggest failure because you have failed my family, or your family, meaning, I guess she meant Kyrie. Now they're both alone because she thought, Asuka thought they could be a family again. I don't know about that. But, and then she's like, nothing will stop me from destroying you, Io, at Backlash. It's gonna be a tough one to get through because, you know, my two of my 3 hot Asian wives. Well, 4 wives, really, because I got Mina. We'll see what happens with that. I'm going with Io. I know, I can go either way. It doesn't really matter. But I think in this case, Io needs the win more than Asuka really needs it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, I gave Asuka's little vignette promo. Well, actually a promo, not a vignette. But I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we get to the funeral for Grayson Waller as he takes on Oba! Who, Femi? Oba, like, whipped his ass. I mean, yeah, he got in a few moves, but Oba beat him in 66 seconds. Hey, you couldn't wait 6 more minutes? 666, no, the beast. Look at that. Alright, so, yeah. Filler match. Oba wins, remains undefeated. After the match, gets on the mic and says, me and the people are feeling kind of good around here. Too bad for you, Grayson, you're not feeling good. And, he gave Grayson a chance, so Oba's gonna take it upon himself to issue an open challenge to anyone who wants to try and climb the mountain that cannot be climbed and that cannot be conquered, and just be ready. So, we'll see what happens next week and who might face Oba. We'll see. Well, Oba needs some challengers at least till we get to SummerSlam, where he most likely will face Roman and probably conquer him too. I hate saying that, but I think I mentioned many months ago that Roman's going to win the title at Mania and not hold it that long. He's going to have a short title reign. It's basically 4 months. Should be 4 years again, but can't get it. We can't get what we want, like the Rolling Stones used to sing. Way it is. And that's that. Alright, then we go to the back. We have the ladies of the Judgment Day once again. Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv talks to Roxy, apologizes for what she thought of her while she was injured. And she's watching Raw. Finn Balor put himself before the family. Liv says you can't trust him. And Liv wants to support Roxy and what she's doing, so she's gonna be in her corner later on. So Roxy's like, I trust you. So Liv's like, okay, I'll see you out there. And then Roxy's like, yeah, I'll be out there, I need a minute. So she's getting ready, doesn't really look happy. So I think Liv is gonna turn on her, Roxy's gonna become face again, which is great. And then she turns around and Finn Balor pops up, tells Roxy to, shh, you can't trust the Judgment Day. And then Roxy's like, that's hypocritical because nobody can trust you. And she's like, how can I trust them when I can't even trust you? Should I not trust them or should I not trust you? So she's like, get out of here before you get hurt. So Finn's like, alright, good luck in your match. I hope you know what you're doing. Maybe she should have talked to Finn. Because I think Finn is going to eventually have his own Judgment Day, I guess, with Roxanne. Maybe Raquel comes over as well because, Liv's, going to be with Dom and JD McDumbfuck. Maybe they add another woman into the group, another guy maybe, who knows. We got that. But anyway, we move on. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. We move on. Then we get to women's tag team action. Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez with Liv in their corner take on Bayley! Give me a hug. And the lassie bitch from Ireland, Lyra Valkyria. This was a pretty good match, almost 9.5 minutes. Roxanne is in her hometown. That gets a big hometown reaction. Because she's from Laredo, Texas. See? And that's pretty much it. They go back and forth. We get near the end of the match. We get a fireman's carrier loaded up, but Roxy escapes. Rams Lyra into Bayley. Crotches her on top. Whoop! And then Raquel comes back in for a big boot into Roxy's Russian leg sweep for a near fall. Goes for pop rocks. Bayley countered that with a belly-to-belly for a near fall. And then Raquel and Lyra fall to the floor. Liv also distraction Bayley gets her throat snapped across the top rope. Ow. And then we get the Shining Wizard into Pop Rocks. 1, 2, 3. Roxy gets the win and the pin over Bayley. And that's pretty much it. So, thank you, Liv. You know, we get that. Alright, so almost 9.5 minutes. Match was actually decent. 2.5 out of 5 stars. So actually decent. Not great, but decent. Alright, then we get a video on the resident Surfer Girl, So Ruka, who is signed with Raw and will be, well, it's not, I don't think she's going to sign her contract next week. She'll be on Raw next week. See what happens with that. We move on. Alright, then it's time for the final segment of the night. Roman comes out. There'll be ones again. And everybody's pleased to see him. Give him the Roman Reigns! Roman Reigns! So Roman makes mention of that. Says the title was made in spite of him. The reality is that the man makes the title, which he looks good in that title, doesn't he? Which is what he's done again. He made the title relevant. Now you can respect the title, or you can even acknowledge the title. And let's demonstrate that. So he's like, Laredo, Texas. Acknowledge me! So, those damn cowboys do what they told. Acknowledge the man. Which you have to do every day. Twice on Sunday. And then Jacob comes out. Roman says Jacob was right on time. Because I was just getting to you. Fed you out here. So Roman hopes Jacob has made the right decision. Jacob says, I didn't need a week or even an hour to know what to do. I still need the title because you still don't know what it means to be like me. While the Bloodline was running things, I was foaming at the mouth. I didn't even get a phone call from my own family. But you know who did call me? Solo, Mibuki. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, where's this going? It's like he's going up with Solo again. I love you, Solo! Well, that doesn't sit well with Roman, who says Jake was either completely delusional or dumber than he thinks. Solo couldn't even get a cup of coffee delivered to the building. Shit. And he's like, Jacob, who do you think runs this place? The fans chant for the OTC, of course, because he does run all of WWE. And he says the fans aren't lying about that. Roman never forgot about Jacob. And he's even the one who signed off on Jacob to bring him into WWE. Like it's true. But the reality is, Jacob, you never earned it. You're not going to just give me a shot. Oh, wait, take it back. No. So Roman says, the reality is, Jacob, you never earned it, and you're not going to just give me a shot because that's nepotism, which I'm not going to allow. And then out of nowhere, Jacob, grabbed Roman's throat, like with a Tongan death grip, which you know who his dad is. Mr. Haku, the master of the Tongan death grip. And he locked it on Roman, and Roman's like, oh, he's flailing all over around like a fish. And then Jacob promises to take everything from Roman, and Roman's just, he puts it on again, and Roman's like, eventually spitting up, he's almost throwing up. So Jacob leaves, and then Roman's like, Jacob! You want to challenge me for Backlash? You're on! So Jacob's like, I'm not going to wait for Backlash. I'll see your ass next week on Monday. So we're going to get some interesting things happening on the Go Home show on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. It was, kind of great to see the death grip from Jacob. Maybe they'll use that as his finisher instead of the triple jump moonsault, which is like kind of a secondary finisher, which he used in MLW for a while. But we get that. And moving on. Alright, so we might see that going into the match, maybe in the title match, but I think Roman's going to break it. Roman's going to win this match easily. So, I'm not even worried. Jacob's not going to win. Because Roman has to, he's going to get into a program with, I think Bronson Reed when he comes back, and then Walter, and then eventually Oba. So the next couple of pay-per-views, we're going to get the eventual, next couple of challenges for Roman. So probably at Night of Champions, we get Roman versus either Bronson Reed or Walter. Roman's going to smash both of them. And then, I assume at King of the Ring, he's going to defend the belt against I don't know who. And then, right after that, we're going right to SummerSlam, where we could see Roman versus Oba. And if we do, I think Oba's going to conquer Roman and hold the title probably for a year. And then Roman, might chase Oba, or I don't know what's going to happen after that. Because Summer will probably be over after SummerSlam, so we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, pretty good Raw. That was pretty standard. I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section, like Trick Woody would say. Let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are about a half hour away from Impact. Gonna be a good show tonight. The Prophecy is back on Impact. Rosemary and Mari Shade, they team up with Allie, who is back from the dead, and they take on the Diamond Collective of Tessa Blanchard, Alicia Fox, and my girl Mila Moore. A 6-woman tag should be some good stuff. Got more with Mike Santana, where he goes from here. I think we got that guitar scrap match with Elijah and Kaz. That's going to be pretty brutal. And a whole lot more on your 2-hour cure for insomnia. And that's Impact Wrestling on AMC. We got that. See what happens with Ring of Honor tonight. As this is the pre-go-home show before the Ultimate Go-Home show. Actually, we got 2 more shows to go. We got next week and then the 14th. So I got 2 more shows to go after tonight to finalize that Supercard of Honor card, because that's going head-to-head with SmackDown that night. Probably going to watch it after SmackDown. And I'll do the review probably sometime after that. But we'll see what happens. But, finally we got a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. One of their top 3. Because after this, we're going to Death Before Dishonor in the summertime. Then, really, Final Battle. We got that. And also, AEW has a new pay-per-view coming out in July called, what's it called? Redemption? Interesting name. So that's going to be the precursor to All In. And it could be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, That's going to be in July. No date yet, but they did file for trademark for Redemption, so that's going to add another pay-per-view to the schedule for AEW. So that's going to be good. So we got Forbidden Door, and then we have Redemption heading into All In, and then after that, it's All Out. And then we got Wrestle Dream going into Full Gear, going into World's End, and that's the end of the year pay-per-view wise for AEW. We gotta get through Double or Nothing, going into Forbidden Door, then in July, like I said, Redemption, the first ever Redemption pay-per-view, and then we're going to London, England, Love at the pretty much near the end of August for All In, and that's pretty much it. And I think it's going head to head with something from TNA. I forget what pay-per-view, but I know that I think it's going to be, I think it's a week apart, or it's going to be the same day. We got AEW going pretty much not going head to head per se, but AEW and TNA right in like 8 o'clock slot. So All In will probably start about 1, 2 o'clock, go about 6, maybe 7 o'clock, and then we're getting right into the pre-show for the TNA pay-per-view, and then we got TNA. So 2 pay-per-views in 1. So we got one in June, and then we got one in August. So that's some competition. So, TNA is trying to try to top that, But, we'll see. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, 7.5 out of 10 stars for Raw. Pretty good show, and that's that. Alright, I will be back over on my Peter Joseph channel after Impact with your NXT review, and then we'll talk about Dynamite late tomorrow night, and then we'll talk about SmackDown and TNA Ring of Honor on Saturday. Get you ready for Collision, and then we'll talk about Collision on Sunday. That's pretty much it. And that is your weekend, baby. And that's that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.